poi
Sì.
se qualcuno rimane, poi cambierà.
La si può aprire? Si lascia aperta meglio.
Io non posso.
Io ne ho aperta, così non fa nessuno.
So when I stay in I will look at you because just to make sure
Prego. Sì, almeno c'è meno canzone. Siamo tre. Siamo tre.
Good afternoon, distinguished honorary doctors and promoters, President Nance, Ambassador Baruco, Dr. Syed, members of the faculty, colleagues, graduates, families, friends, and guests. In my capacity as Dean of Graduate Studies, it is with great pleasure to welcome you to the European University Institute degree conferring ceremony for the graduates of the PhD, LLM, Master of Research and Master of Research in Economics programs. Before we begin, may I kindly invite you to use the headsets provided if you need them. They are meant to improve acoustics, not for translation, and to switch off or silence your mobile phones during the ceremony. Thank you. And now I invite Professor Nance to the pulpit.
Dear graduates, family and friends, dear colleagues, I'm overjoyed and humbled to be here with you. Overjoyed because it's both an honor and a pleasure to be part of this moment of graduation, which gives us the energy and the drive for the whole academic year. I think it's this festive moment which captures the beauty of academic life. I'm humbled because I look at each one of you and know that you have made it through the ultimate academic rite de passage. Humbled because you are among the brightest minds of your generation, and when we meet again, be it at the 75th anniversary of the EUI or the next alumni meeting, you will be standing among the professors and outstanding voices of the future of Europe and the world. Dear graduates, today is your day, a day in which not just your doctoral studies, but a lifetime of education culminates. The path of pursuing a dissertation was not an easy one. It is one where talent alone is not enough, one that cannot be completed without the countless hours of hard work and dedication. It is a path that many of you have followed for a long stretch, only to discover, deep into the journey, that it was a dead end, forcing you to turn back and find another way. And yet, you never lost your curiosity, your inventiveness, and your motivation. The EUI's halls, pitched on the hills of Florence, they are filled with this ambition of discovery, with the fervor of scientific and philosophical interests. But most of all, the EUI is a source of strength by virtue of its community and the community it provides. You, the researchers, have supported and relied on each other through late nights and early mornings of hard work. You learn from each other's perspectives, you have challenged each other's assumptions, you have become colleagues, co-authors, friends, and at times even partners for life. By weaving the notes and strings of togetherness, you have strengthened our community, one that will continue to enrich your lives after your studies, and that will enrich the lives of those coming here after you. You, the researchers, are the beating heart of the Institute. You are its energy and a source of its momentum. And you, the researchers, are also the source of my strength. I'm still deeply moved by the way you came together in the closing plenary of the first edition of the EUI Ideas during the 50th anniversary of the EUI. Social sciences and humanities, be it in the forms of historical, legal, economic, political, or sociological inquiry, its great strength is its sensibility to human complexity. We care about context, structures, about the unpredictability of human experience. This sensibility is key to building collective action, to imagining desirable futures. But desirable futures, in particular in our societies, which enter uncharted territories, I'm not going to speak about the uncertainties we face, AI, wars, etc. In these circumstances, building desirable futures cannot be built without hope. but hope in the sense of the famous quote of Václav Havel. The kind of hope which is above all a state of mind, not a state of the world. Hope is not optimism. It is an orientation of the spirit, an orientation of the heart. It transcends the world that is immediately experienced and is anchored somewhere beyond its horizons. Unquote. And so, dear graduates, I wish you above all this kind of hope as a form of human solidity for everything you undertake in the future, and the wisdom to nurture it throughout your lives. As you are about to leave your doctoral studies behind you, allow me to address you as alumni of the EUI. I call on you to act as our voices in the world. Whether you continue the path of research or decide to serve in different sectors, your achievements will stand as a testament to the collective legacy of the EUI. You are our pride and our future. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to all of you. May today's accomplishments mark a milestone in a journey filled with purpose, passion, and possibilities. Today we celebrate your achievements and the boundless potential that awaits you. Thank you.
Thank you, President Nance. We now proceed to the awarding of the honorary degree of Doctor of the European University Institute to Professor Guido Imbens. And I invite the honorary promoter, Professor Fabrizio Mealli, to address the honorary doctor, Professor Imbens.
Dear graduates, esteemed colleagues, and honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor today to introduce a scholar whose work has changed not only the field of economics, but also the way we think about knowledge itself, Professor Guido Imbens. Guido's story begins in Europe, in the Netherlands, where he was born and raised. His intellectual journey carried him from his family and from Dutch University to Hull in the UK, and then to Brown, where he got his PhD. He started his academic career at Harvard, then UCLA, Berkeley, Harvard again, before he eventually found his academic home at Stanford. But throughout his life and career, the imprint of his European upbringing has remained visible. A tradition of careful reasoning, of seeing connections between disciplines, and of asking questions that reach beyond the technical to the philosophical and policy relevant. What makes Guido's story so fitting for today's occasion, where we celebrate his achievements, but also the graduates, is how much it illustrates the interplay of choice and chance, the very forces that he studied so rigorously in his own research. By his own account, a chance encounter with econometrics set him on a path towards statistics and economics. His choice to pursue graduate studies abroad opened up collaborations that would then define the field. At every stage, unexpected opportunities met deliberate decisions, and together they shaped a career that now helps us understand how we can disentangle causality from mere correlation. In a way, his scholarship mirrors his own life, shaped by both decisions he embraced and hard work, but also by opportunities that emerged by fortune. In his academic work, Guido has addressed one of the deepest challenges in the social sciences. How do we know and how do we measure whether an intervention, an action, or an event truly causes another one? Life is full of experiments, but most are not designed by scientists. They unfold in the messiness of the real world. Guido's work, or most of his work, is about finding the right way to ask and answer questions using real-world data, where experiments are not always possible. Together with his collaborators, Guido gave us the tools to interpret with rigor so-called natural experiments that may happen in life, where there is some idiosyncrasy in the data that helps us uncover the causal effects, even if we didn't run a randomized experiment. His insights into the mathematics of causal inference have become fundamentally important, not only in economics, but also in medicine, public policy, data science, and now also in the new era of artificial intelligence. These insights have reshaped our ability to measure the effect of policies, programs, and treatments. For these achievements, Guido was awarded the Nobel Prize in Economic Sciences in 2021 that he shared with Josh Engris and David Card. But the prize is only part of the story. As a teacher and mentor, Guido has guided countless students and colleagues. His clarity of thought, his generosity, and his insistence on rigor have inspired new generation of scholars, multiplying his influence far beyond his own research. And here, if I may, just a small anecdote that I pulled out of my notes that I took before interviewing Guido after winning the Nobel Prize with one of his former students. So, Guido is known among his students not only for his brilliance, but also for his humility. One former student told us that being in his lectures was like watching a magician reveal the trick, except that Guido would then hand you the deck of cards and insist you try it yourself. And I think it is this combination of generosity and rigor is as much a part of his legacy as any theorem or equation. In conclusion, for his extraordinary and invaluable contribution to economics, econometrics, and statistics, for his commitment to education and mentorship, for a career that bridges continents and disciplines, and for a body of work that helps us understand the world with greater clarity, it is my great honor to present Guido Imbens for admission to the honorary degree of Doctor of the European University Institute. Please join me in welcoming Professor Guido Imbens.
Madam President, distinguished guests, and especially all the graduates and their families here, I'm very honored to be standing here in front of you and to be awarded this honorary degree. I first visited the European University Institute in 1990 for an academic conference. The Institute made a great impression on me, and how could it not? I've been fortunate and happy to have been back here many times since then for conferences, teaching courses, and working with distinguished scholars here. This visit this week has been similarly enjoyable, with one of the highlights yesterday attending the final of the Coppa Povana, where the women's economics team won the final. When I find myself in situations like this, listening to Professor Meali's laudatio, it is hard not to feel a little bit of an imposter syndrome. How did I get here? What have I really done to deserve this? Things didn't always go so well in my career. For example, in my first job at Harvard University, I was turned down for tenure when my colleagues did not find my research sufficiently compelling for a permanent position. I'm not saying this to make you feel sorry for me, but I want to make the point that even in these very successful careers, there are many setbacks, and it's having the resilience to deal with these setbacks and to keep going that is really important in the long run. Another time, I felt an acute case of the imposter syndrome when I was in Stockholm for the Nobel ceremonies. Everywhere there you see the admonition going back to Alfred Nobel, that the prizes are to be given for those whose contributions have delivered the greatest benefit to humankind. That is, of course, a ridiculously tall order, and none of the fellow laureates I talked to really knew what to make of that. What had they really done that could possibly live up to that standard? And so at some point I was talking to someone, and he gave me one way of thinking about it. The great Roman poet Virgil wrote, "Felix potuit virum cognoscere causas," or happy is the one who learns the causes of things. And so what I've done essentially in my work on causality is help develop tools for learning the causes of things. So that is, I've really just written a bunch of self-help books that enable people to learn the causes of things, and thus, according to Virgil, become happier in the process. Now, let me end with a final word for the graduates. In the US, at many commencement addresses this year, students have booed speakers talking about AI. And I understand that. These are very challenging times. Things have been changing dramatically in the last couple of years, and many more changes will be coming in the next couple of years. The pace of change is really unprecedented, and neither I nor anybody else really knows what to make of it. The one thing that makes me optimistic is talking to many of you guys the last couple of days and seeing the passion and intellect you're bringing to these challenges. I'm optimistic that you guys will contribute to solutions to the many challenges that our generation has left you with. Thank you.
By the authority vested in me, I admit you to the honorary degree of Doctor of the European University Institute.
We now proceed to the awarding of the honorary degree of Doctor of the European University Institute to Professor Antony Anghie, and I invite the honorary promoters, Professor Saranavan and Professor Arnulf Becker-Lorca, to address the honorary doctor, Professor Anghie.
Long ago, in a galaxy far away.
In fact, until not so very long ago, and in the places very close to here.
You're right, international lawyers were ushered into the discipline with an understanding that their field is a system of legal rules and principles that govern relations between states.
Sovereign states.
Sovereign states, sorry.
No. Since its mythical foundation in the Peace of Westphalia, modern international law was the law among sovereign states. Sovereign states and sovereignty per se were seen as natural, factual phenomena that made law.
Textbooks on international law then continued the story by telling how after Europe's Peace of Westphalia, the system of states gradually expanded, including other territories as states.
So in this account, international law, through the right of self-determination, about which we will hear more today, as reflected in the UN Charter, Resolution 1514, Resolution 1541, Resolution 2625, made a crucial contribution to include non-self-governing territories into the system of states, thus ending colonialism.
But then enter our protagonist, Professor Tony Anghie.
Rather than beginning with European internal peacemaking,
Westphalia.
Anghie's 2005 book, Imperialism, Sovereignty and the Making of International Law, argued that sovereignty did not pre-exist law, but that law created sovereignty, and that that sovereignty was forged by the colonial encounter.
International law then did not end colonialism, but made it. And here at the EUI, even today, we read books and make annotations.
Not all international lawyers immediately adjusted their historiographies. But Anghie's strength was not merely his own profound research and intellect. He also built a movement.
He would never claim to have done so on his own.
Never. Then he would also not have been so successful.
Together with significant others, he built the movement, 12 third world approaches to international law.
As a founding figure in TWIL, Anghie argued that our vision of the world determines what legal structures make sense, and that that vision drives scholarship and what counts as good scholarship.
In an international law world dominated by Europeans, American, Western international lawyers, TWIL put the spotlight on perspectives on international law in the third world, what we call today the Global South. Global South concerns and therefore also Global South scholarship.
International law is so much richer for it.
And indeed, as today's Honorary Doctorate underlines, 12 concerns have inspired people and driven research agendas of people also here in the Global North.
Tony cannot pass on all the credit to TWIL, the movement. There is something uniquely Tony. And that is that no matter how many professorships he has,
Professor of Law at the National University in Singapore and the University of Utah.
prizes he has won,
The Manley Hudson Medal from the American Society of International Law and the International Law Career Achievement Award from the Association of American Law Schools.
he remains a scholar characterized by humility.
Aware that the challenges that face us cannot be addressed by individual genius.
Committed to creating a community of scholars,
And most importantly, he has been a mentor, a friend, and a source of inspiration for hundreds of people across the globe.
that, in and of itself, is worth celebrating in academia.
And for all these reasons, we present Professor Antony Anghie for admission to the honorary degree of Doctor of the European University Institute.
Thank you so much, Anna and Sarah, for that wonderful dramatization. President Nance, officials of the EUI, ladies and gentlemen, graduates, families, friends. If the previous speaker, who was a Nobel Prize winner, thinks of himself as having imposter syndrome, you can imagine how I feel. I come from a small country called Sri Lanka, and so just to find myself here in this great center of learning, in a city which is the heart of the Renaissance, is really quite an intimidating and awe-inspiring experience, and I am still adjusting to it. Let me thank the EUI for this great, extraordinary honor. And yes, I do feel still uncertain, despite the very eloquent speech that Arnav and Sarah has given as to why I am deserving of this. But again, I will simply say I am part of a broader community of scholars, my colleagues in the Third World Approaches to International Law movement. Let me then just preface my comments by two disclaimers. The first is to say that my comments are personal. They are not associated with institutions with which I am affiliated. The second is to say, despite great temptation, I have not used AI in actually preparing these words. So in both respects, these words are my own words, for better and worse. Firstly, let me congratulate all of you graduates for your accomplishment in completing this arduous and demanding process of earning a PhD. The degree is an external marker of your accomplishment, but there is, I am sure, an even deeper accomplishment that only you and those closest to you, friends, family, teachers, understand. The accomplishment of overcoming so many hurdles to achieve this recognition. It's a sort of international law issue. External recognition, well, anyway, we get that. But the fact is that all of you, doctoral students, betray or demonstrate a very disquieting tendency. That is, you have intellectual curiosity. Oh dear. This really is a very unfortunate condition, and you are tipping into the unhappy possibility of pursuing a career as an intellectual. What can be done about this dire situation? Can it still be averted? Well, let me try to make a few comments. I would like to address the point of what it means to be, in my own confused way, to address the point of what it might mean to be an intellectual in these times. As President Nance mentions, these uncertain, unsettling times, with wars raging around us, and with technology making great advances and changing our way of life, and indeed even what it means perhaps to be human. In trying to grapple with this question, I thought I would turn to the words of a great intellectual. And this is what he had to say when attempting to understand his own times. This is what he said. The historical origin of modern freedom has had certain unique preconditions which will never repeat themselves. Let us enumerate the most important of these. First, the overseas expansion in the armies of Cromwell, in the French Constituent Assembly, in our whole economic life, even today, this breeze from across the ocean is felt. But there is no new continent at our disposal. There is no new continent at our disposal. Of course, this great intellectual is Max Weber. And we have here the Weber Institute. The point that Weber is making is that freedom in Europe is premised on imperialism. And once imperialism finishes, what is available if there are no new continents at our disposal? Interesting language, a continent at our disposal. Well, the great Ghanaian statesman and scholar Nkrumah said, what follows imperialism is neocolonialism, because neocolonialism reproduces imperialism even after colonialism is supposed to have finished. So the question is Weber right? Is freedom, rights, everything that Europe stands for, premised on the exploitation of the world beyond Europe? To me, Weber explains something that has puzzled me and that shapes my work. The possibility that there are two Europes, that there are two Wests. The West of the Enlightenment, firstly, the great values of equality, freedom, personal autonomy, individual rights, which can surely be traced back to the Renaissance. All the values that I felt in Sri Lanka were lacking in my country and that needed to be brought into existence, not only in my country, but in many other parts of the global South, which were beset by violence and corruption and human rights violations. So there was that West, the ideal West. And then there was the West of conflict and violence. The violence that led to the First and Second World Wars, inter-Western wars that became world wars, and the violence of colonial conquest. Is it possible then that there are two versions of the West that are in tension, if not in conflict with each other? Is that what Weber is pointing to? These tensions are surely apparent in the world we live in now. Because what we see now, and I speak from my own discipline, international law, is a return to wars of conquest. These wars, waged by the United States, by Russia, by Israel, are, in my view, illegal. It is also the view of, I would say, many other international lawyers. It is surely ironic that some of these states claim to represent Western values, even while engaged in waging these wars. The worst victims of these wars are, of course, the people of Palestine, who have suffered grotesque forms of violence that have been largely unchecked by European states who have tried to address this issue, but perhaps could do more. I will then return to Weber. Weber, I humbly submit, perhaps needs to be updated. Conquest no longer enables freedom in the West. Instead, I would suggest conquest, as we see it unfolding now, undermines freedom in the West itself. The billions of dollars spent on illegal wars could be used, surely, to provide much-needed support for the poor within the West itself. Furthermore, we might see how wars of conquest undermine freedoms in the West, in the heart of Europe itself. Academic freedom, freedom of speech, freedom to protest, civil disobedience, all these fundamental freedoms, perhaps democracy itself, have all been undermined by these new versions of empire. And it is interesting that AI is often termed, interesting books called the empire of AI. That is a metaphor that continues to be of analytical significance. So, if that is the case, what do we need to do? Well, if conquest is a global concern rather than a concern just for the South, perhaps decolonization, which was seen purely as a global concern, is now a concern of the entire global community. If we are to all enjoy true freedom, true democracy, and true human rights, without premising it on the oppression of others. Let me then finally say something about AI. I'm sorry, I'm taking more time than I should. We are in this beautiful church, which is 800 years old. Large language models, language, the word. Being in this church reminds us of the Gospel of St. John. In the beginning was the Word. And the Word was God. God is the Word. And it is perhaps, as intellectuals, through our struggles with words, with language, that we strive to find God, or our version of God. Causality, perhaps. The Word, to me, is sacred. I think in many cultures, the first intellectuals, as we call them, were priests, those who searched for and interpreted God for us through the Word. Intellectuals, above all, are people who struggle with words, with language, with concepts, to understand, to represent our world, and to act within it. My only suggestion, my only concern here is the fear that we'll transfer the power of the word completely to what are termed, perhaps appropriately, large language models. Do those large language models then become God, the Word? So, AI can do extraordinary things for us. But all I would suggest is perhaps we need to remind ourselves of the fundamentally sacred aspect within whatever belief system you have of the Word and the role we as intellectuals have in struggling with the Word. So, I would suggest to all of you graduates that the unique contribution that you can make to the world is a contribution that emerges from your struggle with words, however you use AI to assist you with that. But it has to be your struggle with words. So, now perhaps it is plausible or understandable why I did not want to use AI in writing this. Because my words reflect who I am, for better and worse, with all my biases, imperfections, and struggles. President Nance rightly pointed out that all of you graduates will be making great contributions to Europe and the world. So all I can do now, and it is my great pleasure to do so, is to congratulate all you graduates and to congratulate in particular all your friends and your family and everybody else who supported you through this process, because it is never an individual achievement alone. Thank you so much. Ayubowan.
Ready to go. By the authority vested in me, I admit you to the honorary degree of Doctor of the European University Institute.
We now proceed to the conferment of the doctoral degrees in History and Civilization. May I ask the graduates of the Department of History and Civilization to stand.
By the authority vested in me, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of History and Civilization.
I will now call all graduates one by one to receive their diplomas. Jan Becker. Menja Bujaković. Eliza Shazal. Mark Mielewski. Lawrence Jan Danen. Louis Yuan Driver. Thomas Dumont. Carlos Miguel Jorge Martins. Enisa Sheida Kapusus. Claudia Evelina Kuchno. Roberto Antonio Larrañaga Dominguez. Siga Magviraga. Isabel Daphne Helga Riepe. Cynthia Sadler. Andreas Markus Schur. Halit Serkan Sinan. Christopher Timothy Wendt. Simone Zirolia. We now proceed to the conferment of the doctoral degrees in economics. May I ask the graduates of the Department of Economics to stand?
With the authority vested in me, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Economics.
I will now call all the graduates one by one to receive their diplomas. Mikhail Fabian Barcai. Miguel Blanco Cocho. Eduardo Frattola. Martin Habetz. Benjamin Michael Hattemer. Alexei Kiselev. Marta Anna Korczak. Laura Joanna Kuitunen. Felipe Ramayo Bento Costa Caires. Robert Fritz Schall. Changzu Yi. We now proceed to the awarding of the posthumous doctoral degree. Gonçalo da Silva Lima. Apologies. So we now proceed to the awarding of the posthumous doctoral degree and to the commemoration of our dear Carlos Armando Yuri Rojas Quiros. I invite Professor Giancarlo Corsetti to come to the pulpit.
Miss Vida.
Before that happens, I would also like to call Vida Mayer from
Dear members of Carlos' family who have traveled all the way here to celebrate together with the EUI community the academic achievements of Carlos, his scholarship, and what a very special person he was. Thank you for being here. Thank you also to all members of the EUI community, especially Carlos' classmates and teachers. Today, Carlo is awarded his doctoral degree in economics, and so deservedly so. A doctoral program is, above all, a journey where we, students and professors alike, learn about ourselves, our talents, our weaknesses, our aspirations, perhaps more deeply than we learn methods and subjects of our research. The journey is intense and intensively collective. It brings classmates and faculty so close to one another that is not an overstatement to say that doctoral programs create small families, communities, almost akin to knighthood. People will be for long able to count on each other. In our memory, Carlo was, and will always remain, a shining member of our community. Our most vivid memory of him is his unassuming, unconditional kindness towards everyone around him, working and going out and being friend. His calm confidence that was warm, encouraging, and unavoidably contagious. Never imposing, Carlos was always very happy to share his expertise, which was notable, with fellow researchers. In this community, we share his utmost love for his family, his passion for football, his sense of belongings in the EUI and in Florence. He deeply cherished the beauty and sense of community found here. But let's come to business. We are very proud today of Carlos' achievement as a doctoral researcher and of his doctoral degree. Carlo came to the EUI with a well-defined research program, very close to what I do, so I could understand him perfectly. It was structured around two main questions. How can governments in emerging markets, especially in emerging markets, deal with the negative consequence of the ups and downs of commodity price, oil prices, food prices, and the consequence on income, on production, investment, and especially on the social structure? What policy can they realistically pursue? From the very beginning, is shown in his research. He worked with two very different advisors, me, senior, very deeply involved in his research, and Jesus Bueren, who is not here, and he was a junior colleague whose research was so far away from Carlos that Jesus himself was asking why we were matched by our faculty selection method. Well, Jesus soon realized how wrong he was. I seen Jesus and Carlos developing one of the most productive relationships between supervisor and researcher that I ever witnessed in my career. Carlos was a well-read and independent thinker. What he needed was not somebody to tell him what to do, where to go, but qualified advisors with whom he could discuss and refine his ideas. Carlos' progress was fast, solid, impressive. By his 4th years, he had at least 2 pieces ready for publication in very good journal, but especially ready for impact on the topic he was working on. The terrible illness stopped Carlos just as he was ready to take off academically and perhaps in the policy world. But Carlos never gave up. Last summer, he wrote to Jesus and to me, feeling calmer and trying to do research while I recover physically. I hope I can finish the thesis and submit it on time. And it is in that spirit that I invite everybody to join, not in sadness, but in gratitude and admiration, in an applause that conveys to Carlos and to all of us our appreciation for a remarkable research, a cherished colleagues and friends, a devoted family man, and a fine, fine, fine human being. Thank you.
We will now have a musical interlude performed by the EUI choir. It is my pleasure to invite choir director Valerio Del Piccolo and the EUI choir to perform for us. They will perform 3 pieces from the opera ballet L'Europe Galante by André Campra. We now proceed to the conferment of doctoral degrees in law. May I ask the graduates of the Department of Law to stand?
With the authority vested in me, I admit you to the doctoral degree of law.
I will now call the graduates one by one to receive their diplomas. Henriette Bass. Hubert Bekisch. Daniel Alexander Bertram. Emmanuel Bouakiotis. Nina Brice Silva. Agnès Buquet. Antonino Cirillo. Eftikia Konstantinou. Antoine Christine de Spiegeleier. Tina de Scheutere. Elena Evangelidis. Franca Maria Pfizer. Guillaume Gabriel Pizarro. Christian Christoph Gormsen. Dorin Ciprian Grumaz. Teodora Kostula. Inés Laimeras Azevedo. Natalia Moreno Belloso. Clara Marie Müller. Eleni Neranci. Alexandra Nouvel. Teresa Oriani. Irene Otero Fernandez. Pranav Pucha. Anka Radu. Lucas Sebastian Schaub. Elizabeth Schöyen. Greta Spano. Bela Emmeram Strauss. Leonor Josin Florence den Hülsen. Dimitrios Tsatsianis. Sebastian Peter Haller von Masso. Serkütsen Ünekbaş. We now proceed to the conferment of doctoral degrees in political and social sciences. May I ask the graduates of the Department of Political and Social Sciences to stand. Thank you.
By the authority vested in me, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Political and Social Sciences.
Max Johannes Behrendt. Mariusz Adam Bogacki. Maxine Ariel Both. Victor Ellenbrook. Eva Hoffmanne. Tarek Yazidi Arhona. Emil Kamalov. Odysseas Konstantinakos. Leon David Küsterman. Jessica Patricia Lang. Anna Maria Laudini. Lauren Caroline Lake. Jan Roman Lepu. Lotta Wilhelmina Lintunen. Nina López Uros. Mena Francisca Lusse. Lorenzo Massoli. Taek Yong Mixner Jung. Johannes Christian Santos Okholm. Juliet Saitre. Sven Spurs. Ramin Shirali. Pavel Skigin. Nora Maria Söderberg. Milan Tis. Frans Johannes van Leuven. Fotini Maria Vassu. Jordi Weins. Anghie Zinnober. We are also awarding a degree in economy to Edoardo Frattola. And we are now proceeding to the conferment of the Master of Research in Economics degrees. May I ask the Master of Research in Economics graduates to stand? Emma Ivanova.
By the authority vested in me, I admit you to the degree of Masters of Research in Economics.
Wenchen Tao. Liangnan Wang. Clearly the heat has taken toll on my concentration, for which I apologize. We now proceed to the awarding of the EUI thesis prizes for the best doctoral dissertations. And these prizes recognize outstanding scholarly achievement across the disciplines of the Institute, and they also remind us of the intellectual breadth of the EUI and of the many ways in which doctoral research can make original contribution to knowledge, public debate, and academic life. For each prize, I will briefly introduce the award and the prize recipient. I will then invite the recipient to come forward to receive the award from Patricia Nance. The first prize is the James K. Memorial Prize in History and Visuality, and it was made possible through the generosity of James K.'s family and friends in memory of James, a former EUI researcher who passed away in 2011. It is awarded every 2 years for the best EUI thesis, combining the study of historical and visual sources. And this year, the James K. Memorial Prize is awarded to Elisa Chazal. The prize is awarded for the thesis, The Industry of Anachronism, reproducing the past in the immersive historical reconstructions in fin de siècle London, Vienna, Budapest, and Paris, and the supervisor was Professor Giorgio Riallo. It examines immersive historical reconstructions in these cities at the turn of the 19th century, and shows how visual and sensory experiences shape the public imagination of the past. The committee especially valued the methodological rigor, originality, and richness of the thesis, and it also noted how deeply the work resonates with James K's own interest in the role of visuality in representing and experiencing history. Elisa, many congratulations. The next prize is the Wilfredo Pareto Prize for the best doctoral thesis in economics. This prize, established by the Department of Economics, honors Wilfredo Pareto, the Italian sociologist, economics, political scientist, and philosopher who lived and worked in Florence and Fiesole between 1882 and 92, and who is considered one of the pioneers of modern scientific research in economics. This year, the prize is awarded to Felipe Ramalho Benta Costa Caires, for the thesis Essays on Public Policy in Labor and Procurement Markets, and the supervisor was Professor Andrea Ichino. The dissertation consists of 3 outstanding essays on labor markets and public procurement, and it makes important contributions to our understanding of how firms respond to public policy. One chapter examines minimum wage spillovers and shows how their distributional effects depend on firms' compensation policies. And this chapter received the Best Paper Prize of the 2025 meeting of the European Association of Young Economists. Felipe, many congratulations. May I ask you to come forward? Honorable mentions for the Wilfredo Paredo Prize were also awarded to 2 researchers, Michael Fabian Barzai and Benjamin Michael Hattemer. Congratulations. Please come forward. The next prize is the Antonia Cassese Prize for the Best Thesis in International Law. The Department of Law instituted this prize in honor of Antonia Cassese, one of the most distinguished figures in international law and international criminal justice, and the prize is awarded annually for the best EUI doctoral thesis in international law. This year, it is awarded to Sebastian Peter Heile von Massow for the thesis Litigating Colonial Self-Determination. The supervisor was Professor Sarah Nauen. And the thesis offers an impressive and original account of litigation in pursuit of self-determination for the Sahrawis of Western Sahara and justice for the Chagossians expelled from the Chagos archipelago. The committee praised the thesis for combining sharp doctrinal analysis with rich socio-economic legal research. It examines litigation strategies, judicial reasoning and outcomes, while also paying close attention to how affected communities experience and remember colonial dispossession. Sebastian, many congratulations. May I invite you to come forward. The next prize is the Mauro Capelletti Prize for the best thesis in comparative and European law, including comparative approaches to the protection of fundamental and human rights. Mauro Capelletti was a great scholar of comparative law and professor of law at the EUI, the University of Florence and Stanford University, and the prize was generously established by Robert Helm, an EUI alumnus and a former student of Professor Capelletti, together with his wife Mimi. And this year, the prize is awarded to Franca Maria Faisal for a thesis, the EU's democratic self-defense, a reflexive approach, and the supervisor was Professor Martijn Hesseling. Franca's dissertation addresses nothing less than the defense of democracy in and by the European Union. The thesis doesn't simply ask how democracy should be defended. It asks what European democracy should be. It moves beyond established concepts of militant democracy and democratic self-defense and argues for a proactive defense of the foundations of a reflexive democracy. Franca, many congratulations. May I invite you to come forward. The Linz-Rocken Prize in Political Sociology is also awarded this year by the Department of Political and Social Sciences. And the department established this prize in honor of two great post-war political sociologists, who are Linz and Stein-Rocken, and is awarded for the best doctoral thesis in political sociology, engaging with themes broadly connected to their work. And the prize is sponsored by Professor Richard Rose, holder of an EUI honoris causa degree and one of the founding figures of post-war political science in Europe. This year's Linz-Rocken Prize is awarded to Juliette Sartre for the the thesis is titled Turning the Tide, Mobility and the Upstream Diffusion of Political Attitudes and Behaviors, and the supervisor was Professor Jeffrey Checkel. The dissertation is a work of remarkable intellectual ambition, theoretical depth, and empirical rigor. It offers a powerful rethinking of political diffusion by showing how political attitudes and behaviors can travel through human mobility, not only from elites or institutions to society, but also to upstream from minorities and ordinary individuals to broader politics. Across three elegant empirical studies, the dissertation shows how mobile actors transmit political ideas across contexts and when these ideas take hold. It examines diasporic networks, refugee communities, and returning peacekeepers, and shows how mobility can reshape political attitudes through trusted social ties. Juliette, many congratulations. May I invite you to come forward. Congratulations once again to all the prize winners and honorable mentions. These dissertations are a powerful reminder of the quality, ambition, and diversity of doctoral research at the European University Institute. Yeah. So we now have the salute by a PhD graduate, and it is my pleasure to invite Dr. Chengzu Yi from the Department of Economics to address us.
President Nance, faculty members, families, friends, distinguished guests, and most importantly, my fellow graduates. It is a great honor to be here today. I'm Chengzu Yi from the Department of Economics, and I'm so happy to say to all of today's graduates, congratulations, we made it! I think that for all of us, the time we have spent at the EUI has been a truly unique experience. One thing that sets us apart from the other master's or PhD students is that on our EUI cards, we're not students, but researchers. This may have seemed like a small administrative detail at the beginning, but over time, that word became something more serious. What does it mean to be a researcher? This is exactly the question that we have been exploring over the past years at the EUI. We have learned to ask questions without immediate answers, to live with uncertainty, to accept this slow and non-linear research process, and to gradually to discover that research is not an individual achievement, but a way to be in conversation with others, with our supervisors, colleagues, co-authors, and the societies of which the histories and futures we try to understand. For me personally, the identity of a researcher has probably been planted many years ago. My Chinese name includes a character Cheng, which refers to an ancient royal archive, a place preserving books and historical records. My parents would not have expected, though, when they gave me this name, that many years later, I would come from China to faraway Florence, to an institution that sat among buildings that were once a monastery and Renaissance villas, to try to grow into a researcher in a place so deeply immersed in history. I think there is a beauty in that. These Tuscan hills and buildings, older than all of us, witnessed EUI's 50 years and our own small histories here. Each of us added a brief chapter to the long life of this place, and each of us will leave carrying our own memories of it. Many of us will probably remember the anxious mornings waiting for bus number 7, and I hope you didn't suffer from that today. We will remember the coffee breaks in the courtyards and gardens at Badia, Villa La Fonte, Villa Salviati, and probably also Palazzo Pontalenti and Villa Schifanoia. We will remember the evenings having fun with our friends at Fiasco, the time spent with our friends from the Copa team, the running group, the gardening group, Cine Club, salsa or yoga classes, and many other parts of EUI life. We will also remember the nervous seconds before presenting our work in progress or talking to our supervisors, the hours spent grinding in the library or in the office. We will remember the first time a project, a chapter, or a paper started to make sense, or when it stopped making sense again. We will also remember this strange rhythm of life in research. Weeks when nothing moved, followed by one discussion or one result that suddenly opened a path. My own PhD journey here included many things that I imagine a lot of you also know very well. There were a lot of self-doubt, imposter syndrome, anxiety, confusion, frustration, and the recurring question of whether the work would ever become something that I hope it could be. But there were also moments of discovery, moments of gaining insights from a seminar discussion, the silent satisfaction of learning something difficult, and the joy of a breakthrough after weeks of uncertainty. And I am sure each of you carries your own different version of that story. Some of your memories may be in libraries, archives, seminar rooms, data rooms, or field sites. Some of these memories may be joyful, some of them may still feel heavy. But together, they formed the shared experience that brings us here today. We were not alone in this journey. There were a lot of people that we owe our gratitude to. To our professors and supervisors, thank you so much for pushing us to ask better questions, to think more clearly, to hold our work to a higher standard. Thank you for your criticism and feedback when it was necessary, and thank you for your encouragement when it mattered the most. To the staffs and administrators of EUI, thank you for holding things together behind the scenes and for shaping our daily life in such real ways. To our families and friends, thank you so much for believing in us in this process that can be sometimes difficult to explain, and for reminding us that life is more than just work. Thank you for your understanding when we were still thinking about a model or the opening paragraph of a chapter during dinner. As we say farewell to EUI and to each other, we are heading toward different futures. Some of us will remain in academia. Some of us will head to public institutions, international organizations, law, education, policy, private research, or places that we cannot yet predict. Our path may differ, but all of us will remain researchers in some sense. And something of EUI will travel with us from here. Something bigger, the research methods and particular theories. Coming to EUI was the first time that I had lived for a long period away from China. It was also the first time that I became part of such a culturally diverse community, surrounded by colleagues and friends from many different countries, languages, intellectual traditions. This experience taught me, and perhaps many of you as well, to learn and listen across difference. It taught me that knowledge is not produced from nowhere. It comes from communication, debate, curiosity about one another, and care for people. We are graduating into a changing world with many more conflicts, fragmentation, inequality, and the challenges from climate change and technological change. But perhaps EUI has prepared us as researchers for precisely this kind of complexity as we face the future. To be open to different perspectives, honest about uncertainty, careful with evidence, and attentive to the consequences of the idea we produce. With that, I wish all of you not only success, but also meaningful work. Great companions, difficult questions that are worth asking, and the courage to keep asking them. Thank you so much, and congratulations again.
I now invite the representative of the Alumni Office, Dr. Barbara Cahen, to address the graduates.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Barbara Cahen. I'm the alumni coordinator of the European University Institute, and on behalf of our alumni office and the entire development and external relations service, it's obviously a great pleasure to congratulate you. Well done, well done. You have successfully completed one of the most intellectual demanding journeys in Europe, I believe. And this, I think, to one's very specific talent, which is perseverance. And that is a talent nobody takes away from you, and you get very far with that as well. So congratulations. Today marks the end of one chapter, for sure, but fortunately not the end of your relationship here with the European University Institutes. In fact, we will not stop emailing you, quite the opposite. From today, you join a very remarkable global community of alumni, academics for sure, but also policymakers, diplomats, judges, entrepreneurs and leaders, not only in Europe, but across the world. You are now part of a network that spans generations now, disciplines, and all the continents. And unlike some of our social media platforms, do know that these are made of real conversations, real friendship, real opportunities. So stay real and stay really connected with us. As alumni, you will always have a home here at the European University Institutes, and we do hope that you stay connected by attending events, by sharing your successes, by becoming mentors for future generations and helping to strengthen this community. But most importantly, take a moment to celebrate. You have earned this, and be proud of what you have achieved, and grateful for all the people that have supported you, and be excited also about what comes next. So with this, congratulations once again, and we look very much forward to welcoming you as lifelong members of the EUI alumni community. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, dear colleagues, dear graduates, families and friends, this brings the 2026 EUI degree conferring ceremony to a close. On behalf of the European University Institute, I warmly congratulate all our graduates and prize winners and thank all of you for joining us on this important day. May I kindly ask the audience to remain seated while the graduates, the president, the honorary doctors and the honorary promoters leave the church. Please leave the headsets on your chairs before leaving.